-35 degrees, wind is howling outside. Mammoths are grazing by the frozen riverbank. Inside the cave, a group of humans huddle around the fire. There is no modern technology. No heating systems. Only stone, bone, and ingenuity. Tonight, we will explore how cave dwellers survived the freezing winters of the Ice Age. As you listen, your eyes may slowly close. You might even drift into a deep sleep. That's perfectly fine, because this is a sleep documentary. But have you ever wondered, how could they sleep at -40 degrees wearing only animal hides? Today, we'll examine the survival story of Ice Age humans step by step. When we say Ice Age, most of us picture a world completely covered in ice. Over the last 2 million years, Earth cycled between glacial and interglacial phases. Each glacial period lasted tens of thousands of years. The period we'll focus on is known as the last glacial maximum, roughly 26,000 to 19,000 years ago. During this time, much of the planet was buried under ice. Half of North America, Northern Europe, and Siberia were covered by thick ice sheets up to 3,000 meters thick. Average temperatures were 6 to 8 degrees lower than today. A 6-degree drop meant winters reaching -40. Even in summer, temperatures rarely rose above 10 degrees. Winds blew constantly. Snow could fall for months. Humans didn't choose this, evolution placed them there. Homo sapiens, modern humans, emerged in Africa and spread across the world. In Europe, they met Neanderthals, who were already perfectly adapted to the cold. Both had to learn everything from scratch. Techniques from the warm African savannas were useless on a freezing winter night. Caves were more than mere shelter, they were lifesavers. But not every cave was suitable. Location was key, near water, but not so close that wild animals became a constant danger. Orientation mattered. South-facing caves were preferred so sunlight could warm the entrance and block northern winds. The fourth criterion for a cave was the ceiling. It needed to be high enough for smoke to rise but not so high that heat escaped. Ideal height was 3 to 4 meters. Once chosen, the cave floor was leveled, hides were spread, and a fire pit was marked. Now the main question: how did they stay warm inside? Fire. Fire is humanity's greatest discovery. Without it, Ice Age humans could not have survived. It provided warmth, cooked food, and kept predators away. Humans can start, carry, and manage it, a skill perfected by both modern humans and Neanderthals. In the Ice Age, starting a fire involved the flint method, striking stones, or the friction method, spinning wood. Both required immense patience. The real challenge was keeping the fire alive. Restarting it was too costly, so someone always tended it. If it went out, the group faced grave danger. Since forests were limited, people used alternative fuels like animal bones. Mammoth bones, being large and fatty, could keep a fire going all night. Dried dung, shrub roots, and peat were also used. Stones placed in a circle around the fire absorbed heat and slowly released it overnight. Hides were laid over these stones, and people slept beside them. Natural ventilation prevented smoke from suffocating them. Hot air and smoke rose to ceiling fissures and escaped, while fresh air entered from below. People improved this with hide curtains at the entrance to block direct wind. Fire wasn't just for warmth, it cooked food. Cooked meat was more nutritious and free of parasites. They even used heated stones to boil water and hide bags to make soups or stews. Fire also deterred predators like cave lions and hyenas, who feared the light. Layered protection and nutrition. A cave and fire weren't enough. The human body couldn't survive -40 naked. Clothing was critical. No cotton or wool, only animal hides. Hide was an excellent insulator, but it had to be processed. After hunting, skin was scraped, dried, and softened, often with animal brains or oils. Sewing used bone needles with eye holes and thread made from animal sinews. Clothing was layered, an inner layer with fur facing the skin to trap heat, and an outer layer to block wind. They wore pants, mittens, and hoods. Feet were protected by hide boots lined with dry grass. Necks were wrapped thickly to protect major arteries. Multiple layers created air pockets, nature's best insulator. Babies were carried in hide pouches against the mother's body, warmed by her heat. Finding food was a daily battle. Cold increased calorie needs. Adult men needed at least 3,000 calories. Meat was the most valuable source because of its fat. Large animals like mammoths provided tons of meat, but hunting them was dangerous and required coordinated group effort. Smaller animals like reindeer were caught using traps and snares. Everything was utilized: meat, organs for vitamins, and marrow. Plants were limited in winter, but roots were dug from under snow and inner bark was chewed. Fish were speared or netted. This balanced diet kept them healthy despite the harsh conditions. While they had no modern medicine, they used herbal remedies and basic wound care to survive injuries. Beyond survival, Ice Age humans had rich inner lives. Art, music, and ritual all existed. Famous cave paintings, Venus figurines, and bone flutes suggest a belief in the afterlife and a connection to the spiritual world. They lived in societies of 30 to 50 people where cooperation was essential. There was a sharing culture, informal leadership, and a clear division of labor. Trade existed between groups, along with the occasional conflict over resources. In summary, they survived through intelligence, cooperation, and adaptation. Fire, clothing, shelter, diverse food, and social bonds all combined to conquer the cold. We modern humans have comforts, but we can learn from them. Limited resources can be enough with ingenuity. Cooperation is stronger than anything. Understanding nature beats conquering it, and humanity always finds a way. They survived -40 with only stone, bone, and mind, and laid the foundation for everything we have today. Perhaps as you listened, your eyes closed. Perhaps you fell into deep sleep. Either way, this sleep documentary has done its job. I hope it was both educational and relaxing. We'll explore another historical mystery next time. Until then, sleep warmly in your beds. Good night and sweet dreams.